Hey, welcome to the channel. Sorry about the noise from the neighbors, but they're setting up camp and breaking down their fishing gear and such as we speak. So before I go and do a walkthrough of the vehicle and why I installed, what I installed, and what everything does and what the thought process is behind it, I want to go ahead and give my appreciation, my thanks, and a tribute to the YouTubers that got me here. We're gonna have, first of all, Primal Outdoors. He's probably one large influence of what has gotten me here over the last 12 years. This vehicle in front of us has been 12 years in the making. Thinking about every square inch of the vehicle, what I want, how I want it, and how I all want to work it out. And Primal Outdoors has definitely been a huge influence. Coyote Works has also been a huge help in guiding my thought processes and getting this vehicle built out the way that I wanted it. There's of course Kent Survival, Andy in the UK. Kent Survival has done a huge job with the knickknacks for the kitchen and food preparation and all of that. Can't forget that. And last but certainly not least is Little Camper out of Japan. Little Camper is definitely responsible for a lot of the aesthetic design and the creature comforts that I have on the vehicle. So yeah, those are my influencers that have gotten me to this point. There were several others along the way. Chad, Living the Van Life. Chad has got also a lot to do with how this vehicle turned out, and I appreciate their input, their knowledge, and the fact that they're sharing it on an open platform like YouTube for people like myself to learn from and to build my own rig and, perhaps start my own overlanding adventure. With that being said, no further ado, we'll go ahead and walk through the truck and every device, what it does and what my thought process on it were, and here we go. In the front we have a 12,000 pound winch built in. 12,000 pounds, certainly able to pull this vehicle out. This is an F-350, a 2022 F-350, and fully loaded I think I may come in at 9 to 10,000, so a 12,000 pound winch should be able to get me out of most trouble I can get myself in. Those two lights there are just mainly to support the winch line and the winch working area, so if I have to winch at night or inclement weather, I have working lights directly on whatever it is that I'm winching. That leads to the bumper itself. The bumper is a Steelcraft bumper, and the reason why I chose this bumper out of wrench hand and all the other ones is that it has a feature for the hitch. Of course, behind the license plate is a 2.5-inch receiver right here. There behind the license plate is a 2.5-inch receiver that can take other devices, and of course the armament itself. One of the things regarding this particular bumper, which I will show next, is the cutouts on the lower sides. I chose not to put any lights or nothing in those cutouts because where I live we have to deal with snow. We have to deal with high snow, and anything that would be down there would just be covered up. First time going through snow, hitting a snow embankment, those lights would just be covered, and there's no point in having anything there. Once again, those are the cutouts right down there, and you can put lights in there, you can put whatever you want to in there, but here in the snow and the mud season that we have in the spring, there's no reason to put anything there. It'll just get dirty or covered up, and it's not going to be much of benefit to anyone. The lights that are up on the hood line, they have an amber center light and a yellow spotlight. I've decided on these lamps for the main reason that they will illuminate what I need going down the road, and they're not going to be as affected by mud or snow or anything that the vehicle may go through. In the vehicle, it's what you would find in a regular F-350. I do have a full-size iPad there for my Onyx, for my Gaia GPS and such. I keep a GMRS radio when I travel. Don't know if you guys can see it or not. Chad, my man, Living the Van Life. The aux switches are wired in to support the winch, and the accessory lighting towards the front. And that's basically all the modifications that I've done to the front of the vehicle, front cabin that is. I haven't done any modifications other than the rough country underseat storage in the back, and I just keep my recovery gear and emergency knickknacks and that, so nothing special. Leveling blocks, gotta have those if you want to have a good night's sleep. I do run the Wii Boost. The Wii Boost is installed in the vehicle, and the antenna is at the front, in between the two front seats. It's the internal antenna, so any phones put in the cup holders or in the front there will receive the benefit of the Wii Boost up there. The rear is a steel bumper. Main reason for choosing this particular bumper was that it has recovery hooks, mounting capabilities right then and there. I do have another separate recovery point that can go in the 2.5-inch receiver, but the main point behind getting this particular bumper was these recovery hooks here. I do run a Lear topper with just regular round secure points up top, which that I do what I guess most people do with just a tarp, runs a little, rain and sun shelter, nothing dramatic, nothing special. And yeah, so that is my setup. That is a truck. Coyote works with the table tire, definitely inspiration there. And I also think that Primal Outdoors used it. Just my trusty aluminum-based table, and not to forget the Solo stove that I used to, just keep warm at night and just have a little bit of ambiance going. And I find that running a smaller stove makes you lose less wood versus a larger fire ring, and you end up burning a lot more wood just to satisfy the space. Other than that, I do use the EcoFlow Max for all of my power needs. I cook on it with an induction cooker, little camper. He's responsible for giving me the idea of using an induction cooker powered off the EcoFlow. That works very nice. And the inside of my build is the Airbeds Pro 3. This is basically my sleeping quarter. I do just run some Velcro aligned window covering, and I do have LED lighting inspired by Little Camper that goes throughout the entire sleeping quarter. I will probably post some pictures or do a nighttime video of this build, just so that we can utilize the difference of daytime and nighttime.